Truth is making a comeback. America's Top Stories with Lisa K. Donner.
Special counsel Robert Mueller finally decided to break his silence and address the American public. In doing so, he seemed to go out of his way not to clear President Trump of any criminal charges. It was a classic swampian speech with something for everyone, especially those who want to play gotcha with the 45th President of the United States. Joining me now with all the gory details is Liberty Nation's chief political correspondent, Graham Noble. Welcome, Graham.
Good morning, Lisa.
Graham, am I right in saying Mueller's little talk only served to gin up more heat with very little light on the subject?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Obviously, anything that he said was going to be interpreted the way that different people want it to interpret it, depending on what side of this little conflict they're on. But I think Mueller's primary objective, I would have to say, in calling the conference was actually just to disabuse Congress of the notion that he is going to appear before some committee and provide them with any information or answer any questions that fall outside of the scope of his report. As he said, my report is my testimony.
Right. Mueller claims to have nothing more than what's already in his 448-page report. You read it. Do you find that statement to be true thus far?
Yes. Well, I think it's true in terms of, I'm sure during the course of his investigation, he probably unearthed some what you might describe as exculpatory evidence, which of course was no good to him when he's trying to essentially act as a prosecutor. And of course, so that evidence wasn't in his report, but I think everything else that he found out, it's in there.
Well, it's interesting you brought that up because Mueller seems to be hiding behind this constitutional rule that does not permit sitting presidents to be prosecuted for a federal crime.
Right, yeah, that's actually a Department of Justice, OLC, Office of Legal Counsel opinion that says that a sitting president cannot be indicted. And I think there's a lot of perhaps misunderstanding in terms of people are saying that what Barr said about that rule and what Mueller said about it, they're actually there is a conflict, and I believe that's being misunderstood by people.
He states that Russia launched, quote, a concerted attack, unquote, on the American public's political system. But aren't we still in the dark as to how this whole kerfluffle began?
I think we are very much so. And it's interesting to note that Volume 1 of the Mueller report, which is concerned with the question of Russia's interference, or if you like, their disinformation campaign that they were waging during the 2016 election, that's where the vast majority of the redactions in the Mueller report are. The redactions mostly pertain to the ways in which Russia attempted to wage their disinformation war. And so I think largely, yeah, I'm not sure that we're any the wiser really about how much and how effective this Russian interference really was.
All in all, Mueller's speech did little to calm the restless natives out for Trump blood, wouldn't you say?
All in all, I would agree with that, and I think no matter what he said, that would have been the case. I just think Trump's opponents are out for blood. They're out to get him, and nothing Mueller could possibly have said in his little press conference would have made any difference, and they always would have managed to pick something out of it to advance their case for the president is lying, he's obstructing justice, he's trampling on the Constitution, he's a monster, we've got to impeach him. They would have done so anyway, no matter what Mueller said.
That's Graham J. Noble, chief political correspondent for LibertyNation.com. Thanks for joining us on Truth today, Graham.
Thank you.
Truth is making a comeback. Visit us at LibertyNation.com.